So last night it was so loud at the end of the night in our Fred Meyer that I had to get rid of all of the sound for this. So I'm just going to put this voiceover in. I was looking for the chases for this dirt set or the Forerunners, which of course were gone. But I've already covered my friend who's looking for the Forerunner, so I don't really, not a big deal. I've been looking at moving parts, and this BMW, I keep looking at it. I keep wanting to bring it home. But it's in that new packaging, and so as I was saying, not really into it, so I left it there. Yes, I just did the Tootsie Roll joke again. And they had some of these Baragos, the F1 cars. They even had the Lewis Hamilton, which I paid too much for now. I couldn't find any McLarens, and I'm not into the Red Bull livery, so the McLaren I would have picked up and brought home with me to sort of round out my F1 car display. I should have looked through the box right there, the Matchbox collections, because they're under $1. I found the spring cards last night. Not a lot about that made me want to bring any of them home, but these are better than last year's spring cards. I'll say that much. Just the models and stuff I didn't really feel any affinity toward, but cool nonetheless to see them. I do like the card art on these seasonals, and yeah, I said it before, Fiat 500 is a Fiat 500. Don't try to jazz it up. So as I was leaving, I did see this bone shaker, and I thought it was a pizza box, but it actually is pizza. And then this is the most depressing thing about our Fred Meyer. There are probably, I'm not kidding, 8 bins full of last year's cards. There's the DiMacchini. But, they've got a pant load of old cards from last year and the year before. That one says 2023, but there were several in there that were like 2022. What are you going to do with all of that? No one's buying that. No one. They're going to have this stock sitting on the floor forever. Which means that they won't put out anything new. Which is ultimately depressing. But, yeah. Hey, golf. No. My hair is getting huge. I mean, like, legit huge. Oh, come on up. Why not? The more the merrier. This isn't my tale. How are you, everybody? Welcome back. Hang on a second. Let me just regroup here. That's better. Now my hair doesn't look so ridiculous. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to the Monkey Shine Lab. This is my cat's asshole. Um, I was I went off to film the other night, and I I came up with about 3.5 minutes worth of well, you saw, not a damn thing. I was watching my feed this morning, and I came across Cali Collector 75's video where he was expressing exasperation, for lack of a better term, at the lack of die cast that was being found in the area locally, and the reasons why, which we are all facing, by the way. And so I thought what I would do is, show this idiotic video that I got from the other night, and show you one. This video is specifically for you, Cali Collector. I look at how many tubs of Hot Wheels there are, plus a full sort of a peg setup too, by the way, of stuff from last year. If I'm lucky, sometimes it even says 2022 on it. It would seem, and sometimes they put out new stuff, but not a lot. And it was occurring to me the other night, like, why, how long is it going to take for all of these barrels of half-beat card garbage to go the way of all flesh or get purchased? I mean, what are they going to do with all that? And in the meantime, I would imagine that there are like cases that are arriving, and there's kind of nowhere to put them. I mean, that's just one of the stores in my area. The two Targets in my area barely change anything over in terms of die cast. I will look at the exact same Matchbox crap. The Jada stuff seems to move along out of my Target, and then but that's the larger scale, and it's often the character cars like the Wile E. Coyote I showed the other day. I haven't seen one of those in about a year or two, maybe. Something that you should know, and this is, Cali Collector's probably well aware of this, but this is for everybody, honestly. Just about everything, including premiums and special runs and things like that, they get recycled and run again. There are sort of scheduled drops of different series from each make, and if you don't see what you want in terms of a Hot Wheel mainline or a Matchbox or something of that nature, just like wait a half a year. You probably will. I remember finding one of my first Batmobiles as a toy hunter. I found it at a flea market, and it's like right over there on my wall. And when I bought it, it was like 7 or 8 years old at that point. But the card is sharp, and the bubble wasn't yellow or anything like that. So I bought it from him for like $4, and I said, I won't even give you a hassle over this. And the guy looked at me and said, so you won't, huh? Never forget it. But I kind of thought, like, wow, there's my 66, and they have repackaged the 66. They have recolored the 66. They have put one out with silver pipes in the back. They've put one out with black pipes in the back. They've put one out that has an actual flame coming off of the back. They've put one out that doesn't have the flame. They've put one out with green accents, with maroon accents, with glow in the damn dark. Okay. Even myself, who is sort of now specialized and focused on things that are in the main line or in the premium sets. Even then, I am still reining myself in because I'm well aware that buying these things on the secondary market's a little bit of a waste of time. And a little bit of a waste of money, depending. Okay. So if you wait, and if you're not worried about like when a casting originally first came out, blah, blah, blah. If you're just looking for various castings in various colors, just wait it out. I don't know how many times Nazar and DJ Lowrise, Andre, I don't know how many times those guys have both talked me off the ledge. You know, when I sit there and go, that's it, I'm done. I can't deal with these toy hunters. And that was during COVID and stuff, where stuff was just, I mean, cutthroat. Oh, you think it's cutthroat now? The evil system of Target crashers who go in for the fresh case drop and they peg rape, and excuse me for using that term, they scald the pegs of everything that anybody else might want, and they walk out with, you know, like 2 handfuls of cars. It makes us crazy. But then when we have the opportunity to do it, if I am to be completely honest, I just picked up 2 treasure hunts, city bus treasure hunts from a shipper that I found, and I didn't leave either one of them because I know people who haven't had a treasure hunt in a while, and I'm giving them to them. You know, we all have our reasoning, and you know, we've all done the Robin Hood thing where we will get something for someone specifically because we know they haven't been able to find it. Okay. But it's easy to forget why you're there. And so it's good to hear Cali Collector 75 saying things like, I know why it's happening. I think in my case, I didn't realize why I was getting depressed, and it's because I was, quote unquote, sucking at this whole toy hunting thing. When we all know it's just a matter of luck, of timing, you know, and we don't like those people who go in and scald things. Speaking of which, another one of our creator compatriots out there, a guy named Saga with a channel called The Figure Trap, he took a hiatus for, I don't know how many months it was. I know that I missed you while you were gone, man. But, you know, we all take those times away. And, you know, here he comes back. He's got stronger stuff, and he's got more energy about it, you know? So if you're out there and you're tired of dealing with people who are just shoulder to shoulder at the pegs, Saga sent me a text that just speaking of him, Saga sent me this text, and he said, this place where he's doing some work, they just dumped out, I don't know, something like in the vicinity of 8,600 Hot Wheels. And he said, it's like blood in the water. There are so many people at these bins. And I almost asked him to take a picture of it just so that I could show it on this channel and say, you know, look, this is where we are since 2020 came and went. You know, before 2020, Hot Wheels were a little less in demand. It was a little easier, but if you think back to those times, it's really no better. There are more people in the game now, and there are profiteers in the game now. The only Super I have ever found was the Datsun 510, the green one. And it's really one of the only Supers I ever, kind of wanted. And when we got it, I would realize that when I was going to go to sell it, how unbelievably stupid the market has become. And I couldn't take advantage of somebody. The money that they were offering was, to me, ridiculous. I had just spent $1. In fact, they were 97 cents at the time. Back in my day, they were 99 cents, and you could buy a handful of them. We called it a fiver, and you hold them in the bubble like this in your fingers. You see? I'm starting to get, like, old manish here. Take off the thinking cap for a moment. Stop thinking quite so much. It gets to all of us. And I think that's why I have been preaching diversification of your hobbies, whether that is, you're normally a die-cast collector and sort of that thing, but, find your way into minifigures, find your way into something else that sort of interests you that you can hunt down out in the outside world. I think when you get too focused on one thing, you can miss a tremendous amount of cool, fun things that are going on, while you're hyper focused. For myself, I do things like I build plastic models, or I will put together those 3D jigsaws. I really dig I built the tri-wing up there. Get into doing some of that stuff. It takes a little longer. There's a little bit more to it. And then get back to diecast when you happen to walk into a store and you see some, and then you'll be pleasantly surprised. That's what I've been doing. As well as, Nazar has got me looking at stuff like Kaido House and Mini GT now. And I find too that, we were talking about it today, the premiums are up to like $7 and $8, depending on where you are. And so, like, if you put another couple of bucks into it, you can buy something that is even headed above like M2 stuff, and you get a lot of satisfaction out of quality die-cast representations of cars you dig. I do things like I build plastic models. So the other day I saw this on Amazon, and it was a Second Life, because you can see the box is kind of beat up. Hardly at all. And it's taped shut with some regular old tape, so it's probably been opened already, but it's certified by Amazon that everything is there. In this package, there are two different models, a Fokker triplane and a Sopwith Camel. Oh no, it's a Bristol F2B. These were two World War I aircraft, and so I thought, yeah, cool. I'll build a couple of tiny planes while I'm waiting for some new die casts to come in. The next things that I got are just sort of ideas that I came across. So I'm going to be watching these films. For those of you who don't know how my film reviews work, I have a couple of different strata of them, so be careful you're watching the right ones. Um, the ones called "What's Wrong with You" reviews are those movies are more like challenges. It's stuff that if you feel like you're up to it, you know. But then I have other like just straight up film reviews that I call the Freelance Primate Review, because our theater is called the Freelance Primate Theater. It's actually just the living room, but we've got a good TV. So I was looking on Amazon the other day. Here's something that people don't know how to do. You can play Amazon a little bit like a game, and sometimes you can win. If you find something that you are going to order anyway, look at it, put it in your basket for a little bit, and watch the price on it. Sometimes the prices can fluctuate up to $10, $12 for crazy things. So if you are a little bit more patient about your purchasing through Amazon, you can find stuff for cheap. Like, I found this copy of, and it's used, okay, but they call it gently used, Second Life stuff. I got this for $10. I know some of you may feel that was $10 ill spent. I don't feel that way. I've watched this movie like 2.5 times now, and I'm going to watch it one more time, and then I want to talk about it, because I do have strong feelings about this film, and I'm sure you do too. There's a bunch of superhero crap that everybody's all about, you know? Don't ask me to do that again. But there's all this superhero crap that everybody's like throwing at the wall like chimp shit, and don't get caught up in the negativity. Okay, my wife and I watched the Marvels the other day on Disney Plus, and we laughed, we enjoyed it. You know, jah forbid you enjoy yourself watching a movie, you know. But if you listen to the various different reviewers out there, they'll tell you it's like, you know, because it's cool to hate on that stuff now. I don't have unbridled love for Black Adam, but we're going to talk about that. It'll be fun. Put in some fart sounds and stuff. It'll be... Anyway, the next thing I got, this is actually a really cool idea, but when I was talking to Naz about car films, you know, like, have you seen this and that? I think it started out with the fact that Fast and Furious is a remake, and he was well aware of that. And then it progressed on to talking about other films from there. All the big ones, you know, Two-Lane Blacktop, Vanishing Point, all these movies that we both really appreciate, you know. But I thought I would even take it one step further and talk about some real sleazy car chase movies. So I've got these coming up. This is 3 Roger Corman films. So if you're unfamiliar, Corman's the king of the drive-in. He made so many films, still making them, as a matter of fact. I think he's still alive. But anyway, I picked this up off of Amazon, also for cheap. I was watching it, and the price dropped to like $7 or something like that for these 3 movies. So, you know, I jumped on it, and I have them coming out. So I'm going to talk to you about some other car chase films. You know, we were talking about you know, White Line Fever with Jan Michael Vincent, and you know, all the greats. Smokey and the Bandit, you know. But this is where a lot of us sort of got our fixation on cars. Not all of us were necessarily like into the mechanics of it, and we became like mechanically adept. Some of us were just into like car jumps, So anyway, that's 3 cheeseball movies that are coming at you very soon through my reviewing process, which is always fun. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about real quick is Shin Ultraman. First of all, what is the deal with Showa, Heisei, and Shin as Japanese films are often described as being in eras? Shin is the current political era. It is the current emperor. They are named after the various emperors who preside over the land. But anyway, Shin Ultraman is the brand new Ultraman. I've got that to sit down and review. And then last thing I really wanted to show you here, because I've kept you all a very long time today. This finally came in. Volume 3 of Fantastic Four, which is the Masterworks series. These are, paper bindings, but the art is all in nicely printed semi-gloss paper. And so it actually is tougher than the paper it was originally printed on. But I've been picking these up every time they come out. And in this case, this volume has 9 issues. They usually cover about a year of issues. So there were probably 9 issues this year when this came out. But this is a fantastic way, by the way, to introduce these original drawings and the simplistic scripts to those of you who have younger and more sensitive readers in your house. One of the things about comic books is that it's become so gritty, so hardcore. Everything has got to be sort of real. When Batman punches somebody, their head can come off now. There's something to be said for the old era comics and getting your kids started on these. Yes, your kids are probably more sophisticated than this writing, okay? But I read them and it didn't do me no harm. Kidding. They're clean. They don't have any language. They don't have any sex to them overtly. There is sexism, but generally when you're talking about Marvel comics, they've always been about fighting xenophobia and fighting for the mutant. So I guess that's why I like Marvel. But anyway, diversify your interests. I am certain, and Cali Collector, as he said, he's got other things going on in his life too. I can also identify with that. The beautiful thing about YouTube is that it's pretty much kind of, if you do it right, it's evergreen material. I can go back and watch your old videos while I'm waiting for you to come back and produce new ones, Callie. So go take a break, get your nerves in order. It's something that we all have to do from time to time. No kidding. Even me, and I love just sitting here talking shit. Anyway, if you like listening to me talk shit, everybody, please hit the subscribe button down below, or if you're watching it on a TV, if you hit your middle button, usually it'll bring up a little thing and you can go to our channel and you can hit subscribe without even stopping watching the video. And I promise we don't send you anything to your home. I will not put you on a mailing list for a day. I did that to a friend of mine once. I was out visiting his place for like a week, and this is back before the internet. So I signed him up for a bunch of promo materials for Bidet, And what was the other one that I signed him? I don't even remember, but it was funny. Yes, Jim, that was me. I don't know if I've ever told him, but let's see if he watches the show. This will be a good litmus test, if you will. Thank you very much to the folks down at Wicked Comics and Collectibles. They're down in Albany, Oregon. And they're just a wonderful store. Please go on in there. I gotta go down there again real soon. I'm feeling a hole burning in my pocket for some comics. I don't know. That's it. That's all I got. It just dries up like that. One moment I'm dynamic, and the next moment I'm... Anyway. Thanks a lot, folks. And if you think about it, hit subscribe. It's really a good thing that you can do for any creator whose stuff you enjoy. So I'm not just asking for myself. I'm asking for everybody on the platform. And thank you very much to all my usual people out there. I love you all. I love you, man. Peace. See what growing your hair long does to you? Not really like this inside. Yeah, we're starting to get introspective. I gotta go. Take it easy, everybody.